Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to the channel Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning back, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much. This is your daily forecast for Wednesday, the 26th of August. This is not solely set for that date. The intention is it's the message for the greater collective for the highest good. Therefore, if you're seeing it on a date when it's not the 26th, that's completely fine. There still might be something in this message for you. So, but for those of you that watch regularly, this is to build upon the forecasts that we've been working with throughout the month of August. We'll get started. So, what do we need to know for Wednesday the 26th? We're now at the midweek point. We've been seeing some really, really beautiful cards. And what was our... Oh, it was that Queen of Wands energy. So we're shifting in to this place of taking action, ideally. Maybe being slightly cautious about being a bit impulsive, but the Queen of Wands can be, a very dynamic card if used correctly. And we had that beautiful Ace of Cups from yesterday, which would also speak to that idea of like that overflowing of emotion, which could inspire us to now feel empowered to take the action that we see underpinning in the Queen of Wands. So let's see what today's card is. And pairing it, keeping in mind that we're pairing it with the underpinning of that Queen of Wands, we'll see where we're at, guys. And for anybody that's watching, if you want to support the channel, please hit the thumbs up sign on the YouTube channel. That greatly helps the algorithm. If you want to leave me a question or a comment, you can feel free to do so. Like my business page on Facebook. You guys know the drill. So all of that support is greatly appreciated. All right, let's see here. Oh my God. All right, guys. So there's a message here that's to be had. And I'm going to go with this because we have that Queen of Wands. Now, some of you might be hitting that Queen of Wands. Some of you might still be in that Nine of Cups energy. But we have that. It's interesting to me that on Sunday's reading, for those of you that are new, we read every Sunday. That's the reading for Sunday. But also sort of it branches out into a bigger, it has like a dual meaning, right? And so it also has like the underpinning energy of the week. We had the Nine of Cups, which would be, this is Ace of Cups, which we saw yesterday, right? We're seeing it again today. I think that Spirit or, the message for the greater collective is driving home this idea of feeling abundant, feeling overflowing, feeling joyous, feeling inspired. I love that these lotuses are down here in the fountain. To me, that's like spiritual growth. That's maybe connecting to our spirit in new inspired sort of ways that we don't normally do or we haven't normally done, right? If that makes sense. When I'm looking at this, there's definitely this aspect to nourishment. I went on about this in yesterday's reading too, is this crow is nourishing itself by landing on the edge of this cup and sort of deep drinking the water that sort of flows freely from this cup. I also think that it's interesting that we had the Nine of Cups in Sundays and then we're moving into the Queen of Wands, which I didn't catch this yesterday because I wasn't paying attention to the midweek card, which was Queen of Wands. But we have this sort of fire-water element happening here. And I think that there's this almost like a bridge being gapped in a way between the two polarizing elements, but they're coming together beautifully in this card to bring about this kind of inspiration, new beginnings, new opportunities. This is a great card to focus on. Where is the love in our life? Who do we love? How do we love them? Finding love for people that maybe we don't normally have love for, in the sense that being inspired by our own emotions to kind of find peace within ourselves enough so that we can give abundance and love to others, right? Even if there are people that maybe cause us stress or worry or any of that sort of thing, right? This is a new beginning, right? Aces generally represent kind of out of the box thinking and this opportunity for a new beginning. So we might find a new way to look at things over the last 2 days. And in doing so, with this Queen of wands that's underneath is there is this strong, because queens are also about cups, right? So the Queen of Wands is the marriage of water and fire. Queens represent the element of cups, and then Wands element is the element of fire or spirit. So we've got this emotionality and this spiritual connection happening this week that if we honor it, if we tap into it, if we sort of acknowledge it and the power that it has, I think that we can harness it and utilize it in rather inspired and profound ways. And that's why this Ace of Cups keeps showing up for us. Okay? We can also use it to nourish ourselves. I mean, there's this definite thing about this crow taking this deep drink where it's kind of like taking it in, really feeling it, really utilizing it for our advantage. And I mean this in an advantage, like in a good way, not in a like trying to get one over on someone else. It's just sort of we are abundant, we are full, we are flowing with the universe, right? And kind of adopting this new way of being. It may, for some of you, be brand new, like, you know, but it's to me it's a new dawn in some ways. And there is this blending of water and fire that come together here that is really beautiful. So acknowledging those aspects of ourselves, those aspects are in all of us, right? And we see that in that Queen of Cups and also in that Nine of Cups. So let's get into and also I have to say too, this card showing up a second time kind of ties into that idea of the first grounding stone of the week, which follows through for every day, which is that blessed stone, which is it's almost like this Ace of Cups showing up twice is reminding us to look for the blessings and to really feel them, really tap into them, really make them, honor them in such a way that is very real, apparent, singular, no doubt kind of acknowledgement. Does that make sense? All right, so here is your ancestors and angels card. This is Hunter. Track down your fears and desires. So, to me, let me just look at this for a moment. What is Hunter trying to say? All right, so when I look at this Hunter card, the first thing that I notice is, yes, he has all this regalia, he has his bow, he's ready to shoot with precision, right? But what's interesting to me with this card that I'm noticing is that he's sitting in front of a cave. Do you see that? I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's like he's almost getting ready to enter that cave. He's saying like his sort of last goodbyes before he goes inward. Or maybe, and this is where he's possibly hunting down his fears and desires. The desire aspect is definitely in this Ace of Cups. For some of you, this Ace of Cups could be abundance. I don't feel that this is fears as much as this is us feeling the positivity of our emotions. But for some of you, you might have to like work through some of your fears or those issues around there so that you can get to the more positive feeling emotions, but they are definitely here. They are definitely available to you. The Queen of Wands is that sort of marrying of water and fire and that action-oriented steps that we see with, say, this Hunter, right? He's not afraid. He knows that he can go in and he can get whatever he needs or address whatever he needs, take on whatever he needs to also bring about his own, you know, when we think about hunter-gatherers, they were the people of the tribe that had to be brave and go out to sort of make sure the existence of the rest of the tribe happened through hunting and gathering, right? So when I look at this Hunter, I think about the nature of our responsibility to ourselves, right? And how we grow ourselves. And we do that through facing our fears, through facing our desires, through acknowledging them, through really feeling them, owning them, all of that. And with this Ace of Cups, to me, that is undeniable, right? And through that undeniability or through that no longer avoiding either the good, the bad, taking sort of responsibility for all of it, facing it head on, we allow the abundance of this Ace of Cups to kind of pour forth, right? And we really obtain the sort of the beauty, the inspiration, the growth, all of it gets to come forward and we get to sort of take it all in. But we have to be brave, right? Like Hunter, we have to be willing to go maybe into the cave to seek out sort of the prize, maybe in certain areas where we're, not quite so comfortable. We might have to face some things that we don't necessarily feel as though we want to, but I believe that we have the strength and the prowess, the skill, the awareness, the, courage to do so. Those would all be things that I would associate with this hunter card, right? And I feel like, you know, the hunter in the sense of feeding the rest of the tribe, right? And I'm using this metaphorically, but when a hunter reaps sort of these rewards, right? He brings back food for the tribe, or and so in essence, when we face our fears and our desires and we really weigh them and we look at them and we, you know, address them or sit with them, that's when this Ace of Cups energy can also come in and be abundant and flow through us, right? Where we acknowledge the good and the bad, the fire and the water, all aspects of self, right? All right, let's get into the grounding stone. Okay, so this is trust. I really think that trust is pretty obvious in the sense that we need to trust ourselves. We need to trust our experience, trust our emotions, trust the power that they have, trust our desires. We need to, I would say for some of you, maybe not all of you, but for some of you with this hunter card, we might need to face some of these fears and trust that we will be okay if we sit with them, right? If we sort of acknowledge them and ask them sort of why do we still carry them with us, or why do we allow them to sort of um, dictate our experience. Are we living from our fears? Are we living from a space of our desires, right? There's questions to be had here, and there's answers that we need to find that can be trusted, right? The answers might be new in the sense of the Ace of Cups having that sort of new beginnings, or that, out of the box sort of experience, but everything that we're learning right now, or everything that we're exploring right now, can and should be trusted. It should also be seen as a blessing, even if it feels slightly uncomfortable, right? With this hunter card, I feel like there is a little bit of work to be had, right? We have to be strong during some of it, but it doesn't mean that we have to be in fear of it or in resistance to it or fight it. We need to be sort of like, to me, a hunter is about action, similar to the Queen of Wands, right? Where she begins to take that action. Hunter is that sort of action. He goes out and he does the hunt. He faces his fears and his desires, and goes after the thing that he wants. That's also his bow, right? He's shooting with pinpoint accuracy. We need to trust that we can do this, and that we can also continue to reap these benefits and create this sort of oneness. That's kind of also the aces give me that singularity, or that feeling of oneness with the world around us. So emotionally, we should feel connected and tied in, and at peace, ideally, with everything that's going on around us. And if we don't, that's okay, but trust that that will change as long as we continue to do the work with this hunter card. All right, I will read to you the cards again. So the Ace of Cups, we just heard this yesterday, but I'm going to reread it to you. The crow sits at the edge of a cup, connecting with profoundly intuitive energy, profoundly intuitive energy of the water that is overflowing into 5 streams representing the 5 senses. Pink lotus flowers float in the water, symbolizing purity and an awakened spirit. The Ace of Cups denotes the start of a beautiful, loving relationship, and offers the opportunity for fulfillment both the spiritual and physical realms. You are feeling drawn to connect with those who are on a similar spiritual path, as a way of creating more positive relationships. So I really think that this is us coming into line with, who we are and where we fit in our world, and truly feeling that. So let me find Hunter really quick. Page 44. Let's see what Hunter has to say. A second. Okay. Track down your fears and desires. Track down all of your fearful thoughts and feelings. When you find them, you will find your desires too. The Hunter card is based on my favorite Celtic god, Cernunnos. He is the stag god of the wild and represents both the hunted and the hunter. Similarly, the hunter helps you connect with an energy that is both fearful and fearless. Your fears are the only things that are standing between you and what you desire at this time. So you have to come face to face with them as the hunter does with wild animals and go beyond them. Instead of being hunted down by your fears or other feelings that you have buried, become the hunter. You are being given confidence and strength at this time, so use your power to make a difference. You are not here to cower away or live in the shadows. You are here to realize your fullest potential. But this can only occur when you step up and do what needs to be done. When this card arises, there could be an opportunity to face an aspect of your past or bring your closure to a situation that has been haunting you. If you are a man or identify as male, this card represents your masculinity and an opportunity to know yourself more deeply. If you are a female or identify as female, this card represents your capacity to be strong and powerful and overcome limitations. It's interesting too because they've got this male-female aspect to this card. To me, this feels like a very male energy in the sense of being a hunter, and it's also represented by a male on the card. But the Ace of Cups is also very feminine in its sort of emotional, cups to me is a very feminine energy. So there is this balance of masculine, feminine happening in this reading too. All of this is to be trusted right now. Even if we don't feel like we know exactly, like it might feel new or these perspectives might not fit with maybe what's going on around us in the world, we can trust this and face this and sort of go after it with a little bit of not only strength and bravery, but also, courage. Okay, so that is your forecast for the day. I hope that makes sense. I'm not sorry that it's the same card 2 days in a row. I think that there's a message to be had here. Please enjoy this. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up or hit the like button and share it with your friends and subscribe if you're not already. All right, take care. Bye-bye.